Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Um, I'm mostly going to be using this as a journal, but today I'm going to talk about my experiences with bipolar type 1. On YouTube, I searched up bipolar interviews, and most of the interviews are with people with bipolar type 2, but I have BP type 1, which means I have manic episodes. And later, I'd like to talk about what my experiences with mania specifically have been like. But today, I'm just going to generally talk about my experience with BP and mental illness. Um, I had my first manic episode when I was 19. I was away at college, and I wasn't eating well. I wasn't sleeping well, and things just kind of fell apart. And I was hospitalized the summer of when I was 19. I think it was in 2011. And I was put on lithium, and I was on, I think, 1,200 milligrams of lithium for 6 or 7 years. It was a very long time, and uh, last winter, I switched from lithium to Latuda, and now I'm just on 20 milligrams of Latuda. So, my experiences with BP have been very intense. I've had very intense manic episodes. Um, I've had depressive episodes where, like, there are months at a time where, like, I don't want to get out of bed, and even just getting up to, like, change my shirt or do something simple is really hard. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think my experience with mental illness is that it's something that separates me from the rest of society. I mean, I know different people have different experiences with it, but I think if you talk to most people about mental illness, it's like you're talking about the boogeyman, or something that's not real. They don't understand. Um, so it doesn't mean anything to them, and even people who do understand, some people will understand when you talk about depression or when you talk about anxiety, but I think most people don't understand BP, they don't understand mania, and, it's better. I mean, I don't want people to understand because they're terrifying experiences to have, but there's something about having illness that just kind of separates you from people. It makes you apart from the rest of society. Um, and I think it ages you, I mean, there will be days where I look in the mirror and I say, you look 40, or, you look way older than you should for your age. And I mean, I'd imagine that some people also have that experience, but it's intensified by the BP. And I think of Sylvia Plath in her poem Mirror, where she talks about a woman looking in the mirror and seeing old age swimming up to her like a minnow. And it's just intense. I also think of Blanche from A Streetcar Named Desire, and how she was always trying to hide how old she looked. Um, and to me, it felt like Blanche was a character with BP, or who was suffering from, like, some kind of mental illness. Um, and I think illness, in a weird way, robs you of your youthfulness, and it puts you in this weird position of, like, standing on the outside of your life looking in. You feel like you've lost a degree of control over your life that you otherwise would have. And the only time I've ever really felt like I was surrounded by people who understood me was when I was doing outpatient group therapy with a bunch of other people who were dealing with mental health issues. Um, and, you know, I think it's hard to form an identity around mental illness because it's such a stigmatized thing in society. You know, a lot of people don't even talk openly about mental illness. Um, so it's been hard for me to come to terms with my illness and to just kind of be at peace with it to the best of my ability. But as I get older, I kind of accept my limitations, and rather than kind of try to fight the illness for like that extra hour awake or that extra hour of productivity when my brain is like, you know what, I'm not feeling this, I just give in. I'm like, okay, you don't want to put out right now, I respect your boundaries, like I respect what my body and my head is telling me. Um, so yeah, those have been some of my experiences, but um, I do think that uh, illness is just one of those things where the harder you fight against it, the more the illness pushes back against you. It's weird to describe it that way, but I think that you only start winning with a mental illness when you start internalizing a more relaxed demeanor towards life. You let things go. You give up on things that aren't working out. You put down the ruminative thought. You allow your body to kind of sink a little bit. And only once you've reached that state of acceptance can you begin to live your life with the illness. And I think I'm closer to that than I've ever been in my life. And I'm thankful that my health has progressively gotten better. Even though things are still kind of hard sometimes, and I have difficulties doing simple stuff sometimes. I just feel really tired, like I don't want to do the dishes, I don't want to do my laundry. Um, and sometimes I have trouble checking my email. But yeah, it's hard. Mental illness is extremely hard. It's like living life on hard mode, especially because most people don't even believe that they exist. It's not acknowledged. Um, so yeah, I have a tremendous amount of respect for people who suffer from mental illness. And I've benefited a lot from the YouTube community of people who speak openly about their illness. So, if there's even one person that me talking openly about my experiences with my illness helps, I will record, you know, every bit of information I can about how I've dealt with my illness and gotten better. Um, and I hope it helps someone. Um, I mean, even if it just helps me to get my thoughts out, I'd be happy to continue on. But yeah, illness is hard. It's a hard thing to face, and I don't really feel comfortable talking about my illness to people I've worked with, or even really my family. I will briefly bring it up occasionally, but I really don't tell them about like my struggles with things. Um, so if you are chugging along and you need someone to talk to, you can always hit me up or comment me, and I will get back to you. It might take me a little bit, but that's a promise. And I think that's more or less everything I have to talk about for today. Um, Maybe tomorrow or in the near future, I'm going to talk about my manic episodes. And I'm not sure if I'll do one per video log, like if I'll talk about my first manic episode and then I'll talk about my second big one. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna do that in the future, and I'm excited to record more. So I hope this helps someone. If you're feeling alone dealing with your illness, you're not alone. There's people out there. Um, I'm here. So take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.